Hi, my name is Debbie Souza, and I did my graduate research project on school-based intervention to prevent bullying. Bullying amongst students has led to serious and even deadly outcomes in both the victims and perpetrator. Bullying occurrences has led to strict laws and mandates which enforce school districts to take active roles in addressing these issues. Schools are taking great measures to promote safe school environments. Prevention intervention programs teach students strategies to protect themselves and others. Whole school programs that have produced positive results, one in particular, is the Alois Bullying Prevention Program, which from time to time I will refer to it as the OBPP program. This particular program has increased awarenesses on campus. Between 1994 and 1999, there were a total of 220 schools that reported violent deaths in the United States. Cases on bullying in 1999 was the crisis of the Columbine shooting. This particular crisis had jolted the American people and the educational system. There have been several high-profile cases since Columbine, which continue to shake communities throughout the states. Jeremiah Lassiter is one such case that happened right here in our own backyard in Acton, California at Vasquez High School. Jeremiah was only 14 years old. The day of Jeremiah's suicide, he was pushed to his limits of harassment from students who were throwing food at him in the lunch line. He simply walked away quietly, went into the school's bathroom, and he ended up shooting himself. This happened on Monday, October 20th, 2008. Jeremiah was tormented for years and was the brunt of jokes due to his height. Nobody reported these incidents until it was way too late. Another case that happened was to a young lady, Phoebe Prince, who lived in Massachusetts. She hung herself on January 14th, 2010. Her tragic death was the result of cyberbullying. The bullies that were involved in her case included 8 girls and 1 boy who taunted her relentlessly with verbal assaults and threatened her with physical harm. This was all due to the romantic relationship that she had with the one boy who was involved with the taunting. Her death prompted Massachusetts legislation to take and pass laws on anti-bullying curriculum into the state's public school system. For the first time in history, the state of Massachusetts indicted all 9 students on criminal charges, as well as the teacher, counselor, and principal, all whom had knowledge of Phoebe's bullying incidents. By the letter of the law, the administration addressed the issue surrounding Phoebe's case. However, by the spirit of the law, they did not protect her. Laws passed due to bullying cases have brought awarenesses that has prompted new laws. U.S. Department of Education reported that the state of Georgia was the first to pass bullying legislation. From 1999 to 2010, there have been over 120 bills enacted in the state's legislation nationally. The only states that do not have any bullying laws is Hawaii, Michigan, Montana, and South Dakota. In my research, I found statistics showed that race and ethnicity of whites and others were the highest in bullying activity at a rate of 34.6%, blacks at 30.9%, Hispanics at 27.6%, and Asians at 18.1%. Most occurrences of bullying incidents are higher in the elementary school level than they are in high school. The purpose of my research was to show the effectiveness of using the Alois Bullying Prevention Program. The OBPP is internationally recognized and was introduced into the United States in the early 1990s. Reports have estimated that as many as 160,000 students stay home from school on any given day because they are afraid of being bullied. The impact that bullying has the potential of leaving very devastating effects on children, schools, and communities. As was told in the story of Jeremiah, his tragic death left not only the families involved, but the whole community in complete disbelief. Those students who are victims of bullying are more than likely to be depressed, lonely, avoid school, have very low self-esteem, and have an increase in suicidal ideation. Research that has been done by Toffe and Farrington, They did a meta-analysis of 44 evaluations of the OBPP program, and they concluded that this school-based anti-bullying program has decreased bullying by 20 to 30% and decreased in victimization by 17 to 20%. OBPP was originally known as the National Program of Anti-Bullying Intervention, which was in the Norwegian schools. Dan Olowis, who is from Bergen, Norway, evaluated this national program. Then he added more intensive strategies, resulting in significant decreases in victimization of bullying. OBPP has several levels of intervention implementations, first starting with individual level interventions, classroom level interventions, school-wide interventions, and community interventions. And the American Academy of Pediatrics Journal has recognized that the OBPP has proven its effectiveness in school-wide bullying prevention. Research designs state that key elements in starting an OBPP program that schools need to plan first. First, they need to know that what is the social climate in site. They need to understand the perceptions on bullying from both the teacher and the student's viewpoints, and noting any significant social changes. To improving a student's social-emotional skills and in the attempt of reducing bullying, the reason for approaching bullying problems in a positive method is believed to facilitate a shift in behaviors for both the students who perpetrate and the abuse that is put on to their victims and what type of abusive peer interactions that they have. In creating a safe school environment, the importance of understanding how to do this is that educators first need to understand what the perceptions are of the students and why most of the time students do not report school bullying. According to Bauman's report, students felt that teachers did not care and that they would not be able to protect them. Although some students feel this way, most of the time bullying does go undetected by staff because the incidents of bullying go under the radar. Educators have a very important role. First of all, they need to have a comprehensive training in developing their skills. They need to have a strong communication within the community and also communication with parents in order to send out the message that bullying is no longer tolerated. Students have a very important role. Inside the classroom, students need to learn how to make decisions, use problem-solving skills, openly discuss positive and negative issues, and understand that they do have a responsibility to stand up against bullying no matter who is involved. The underlying theory of the OBPP program is that students who learn protective social skills and also improve appropriate bystander responses, the likelihood then is that students will report bullying and therefore deter the behavior altogether. Counselors have a role. They are the front line for students, parents, staff members, and the community. Counselors are a great resource and they have a knowledge. They already possess the strategies in conflict resolution, peer mediation, and are great group leaders. Parents and families have a role. It is important for parents to understand the urgency in talking with their children on how to stand up against bullying for them. A warm home environment that parents create will promote resilience for their children from the bullying experience that they went through. They will also be able to foster social and emotional well-being in their child. Parental involvement with their children is crucial in deterring them from any type of bullying activities. Parents who set strong disciplinary consequences are sending a message that negative behavior will not be tolerated. Communities have a role. At first, it might be difficult in starting these types of programs, but when the focus is on the overall wellness of students, then these types of relationships between schools and organizations can be created. I'd like to let you know that I found that the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services does provide grant funding to individual schools who are striving to promote a safe school environment for their students. In conclusion of my topic, I have talked about many differences that were brought up about the key elements and the effectiveness of anti-bullying interventions inside the schools. Older reviews were not very favorable in showing that anti-bullying interventions were effective. However, in my research, present reviews do point out that some very effective intervention programs that have decreased bullying, in particular OBPP. In future research, a more in-depth study should be conducted with the families. Research has shown that there has been a decrease in bullying and victimization when there have been parent meetings and trainings that were given by the schools. Conclusion of a couple of the researches that I have gone through. One, the meta-analysis that was by Toffe and Farrington. They concluded in their reports overall that school-based anti-bullying programs are effective in reducing bullying and victimization. In the report of Brown, Lowe, Smith, and Haggerty, they concluded that bullying was decreased on an average of 20 to 23% and victimization decreased on an average of 17 to 20% with the OBPP program. The bullying problem that we as a community face is going to take a group effort in minimizing these occurrences. It will not take just one individual level, but all ecological levels to put a stop to the bullying epidemic. Clearly, more research on the effectiveness of intervention programs in schools in the United States is needed. Thank you.